had this video with a guy scooping some ice cream, which looks pretty yummy. And then I went to another website called bearaudioTools.com, which I'll put in the link description if you want to record your own voice. But it would take the audio off this video. It's just there is no audio on the video. So I recorded a tongue twister.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
And I imported in here as my setup. I also edited down the video a little bit so it's not so long. Now, I want to add the captions, and the computer can do this all for us. You do need some internet access behind the scene. And I also want to make sure I am clicking on this tab at the top. We want to be in Captions and Graphics, which changes my screen a little bit. Still, I have my timeline down here. I have my project monitor. But I'm interested in now these selections here. So there's a tab up here called Captions. So again, if you need to find it, it's from this Workspaces tab button. Go to Captions and Graphics. So I want it to translate my ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So there's an option that I can create my own new caption track, which we might look at in another lesson. But for right now, I want it to just do it for me, transcribe my sequence. And when I click on that option, it gives me some, what language do I want it to be in? And then which track? Do I want it to be a mix of all these tracks? Nope, I just need it to be audio 2 track because that's where my audio is. So I don't need it to just transcribe audio 1, I just need it to transcribe audio 2. If I wanted to do transcribe audio 1 and 2, both audio files, because there's talking in both, then I would use the mix option. So I'm going to go ahead and hit transcribe. It does take a moment or two. But it was looking up this audio and it's pulling it in. So I am going to edit this. It's not a question mark. I scream. You scream. I'm editing some of the punctuation in here. So now that I have that in here, and I have it edited, I'm going to click on this create the captions. So CC. Now it gives me another menu. So what does all this mean? I want it to have like a subtitle default, which is fine. I'm just going to pick the main kind of subtitle. If you have some styling, it just puts it in there. And then do you want a single line or double line? I do want the single line. A lot of people pick double line, but for this one, it's not a whole lot of text. I'm going to use the single line. I'm going to go ahead and create. As soon as I create it, it adds a new track, a captions track. So it has C1 up here, and it has my captions broken down into I scream, and then the second one is you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So I have both of these tracks in here, and as it plays, as my text plays, those words appear on the screen. On the screen. I said screen because that's what the text is. So now I don't love how the text is appearing. It's hard to read. Maybe I want it bigger. So I am going to go here and if I click on the first video, it's popping up for me automatically. Yours might not. We're looking for essential graphics, and that can be found under Window, essential graphics if you need to pop it up. But in this case, it tells you what the text is, and then you can set it to whatever font you want. I can make it bigger if I want to. I'm going to position my playhead over it so I can kind of see it. Ice cream. I can maybe, let's see, set the vertical position. So I just hovered over it to see if it was vertical or horizontal. Maybe I want it in the middle of the screen and not so much at the bottom. I can change the color. It's white by default. Maybe I don't want it to be white. I want it to be a different color. I do kind of like the white, so I'm going to go back there. Maybe I want there to be a shadow. And maybe I want there to be more of a shadow or at a different angle, so I can start working with the settings down here. So I can do all of this stuff to the text. But then I need to do it to the second text. So I'm going to put my playhead over here. It's still small, so I want to do the same thing. So I'm going to pick the same fonts. I picked Verdana, so I'm going to stick to Verdana. I made it bigger. I also moved the vertical position so it's a little bit more in the center. And now I'm going to start adding in some of the other things. I didn't point this out on the other one. There's an option for background. So if I want a background color so I can see the text, I can click on that and select my background color. So now it puts like a little bit of a background color behind my text so I can maybe see it. I can change the opacity level. I can change how thick it is around the text. So you can also add that background. That is another option. And that's how you can add really quick captions to your videos. Oh, I see I have a spelling error there too. So I would want to definitely come in here. I'm going to leave that ice cream. We all scream. S-C-R-E. We'll just leave that as it is. It's the idea of ice cream and the combination of that word. So it's just combining the word. That's how you can add some captions to your Premiere videos.